Hey everybody, Chad here. In this video, we're going to talk about this is what keeps you in poverty. And I'm going to give you an excellent example, an example you've never heard before. And it's a true story. So keep in tune. We're going to dive into this example. Now, you might be telling yourself, well, Chad, I'm not in poverty. But each stage, if you're in poverty, this is what keeps you in poverty. The same metaphor happens, okay? If you're middle class, this is what keeps you in middle class. If you're in low middle class, you're trying to break into middle class. Or if you're middle class, you're trying to break into upper middle class. Or you're trying to break middle class and go to wealthy. Okay, we're doing things exactly to keep us stuck, to keep us exactly right where we are. So lo and behold, no matter where you are, listen to this example and apply it to yourself because we're all doing something that keeps us stuck. So let's dive into this is what keeps you in poverty. Now, really quick, okay, now I live in Thailand, okay, I'm in Thailand right now, I'm in the gym, it's getting daylight out, but this example revolves around Thailand. And when I first moved to Thailand, I've lived in Thailand for 3 years, so I came in 2021. And one of the things I noticed with Thailand, especially among Thai women, is they always love to talk about their past. Listen to this. They always love to talk about their past and where they came from. I mean, a lot of them come from, especially if you live in Hua Hin, Pattaya, Phuket, or Bangkok. A lot of them come from up north. They come from poverty villages or a poverty lifestyle. You know, a lot of Thai locals come from a poverty lifestyle. So when I would start talking to girls, if I went out for a drink, talking to girls, or wherever I was just talking to the locals, one of the things I noticed was consistently, maybe not every day, but consistently, they would always tell me how that they were poor. They would even use I am statements. They would say, I am poor. You know, I grew up poor. And they would always remind you of this. And there's a couple things with this. Sometimes they're reminding you because they're trying to be manipulative a little bit. They're reminding you of this because they want you to feel sorry for them. They think that you're give them something, you're give them money or you're help them out, especially if you start dating. So part of it is because they kind of want, deep down, they kind of want to take advantage. Now, on the other flip side, a lot of girls don't want to take advantage of you. So, but they just want to tell you about their background, about their culture, about where they came from, how they were raised. Okay, so but it's the same thing in this. Even with my girlfriend right now, I've had my girlfriend since 2021, 2022. So we've dated the whole time I've been in Thailand, almost. And that's one thing I started noticing with her. Now, she wouldn't do it every day, but she would always, I would say consistent, okay? Maybe once a week, a couple times a week, something like that. Really consistent, like above normal. She would always, remind me that or tell me that how she grew up poor, how she's poor, I am poor, my family's poor. We didn't have anything growing up. I couldn't finish school when I was growing up because we were poor. And one of the things what we have to understand is when people do this, okay, and they're constantly, it doesn't even matter if they're constantly reminding me because it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me unless I make it so. But I can detach from it where it doesn't spread on me. Okay. But what people have to understand is a lot of these girls in Thailand, they live in this cycle. And this is the biggest thing what you have to take away here is what I mean by they live in this cycle, they live in this poverty cycle because what will happen is let's say my girlfriend, or we'll take another girl, for example. A lot of these girls will meet a Farang. Now, Farang or Falong, depending on how you want to pronounce it, is a foreigner. A lot of them will meet a foreigner. They start dating. The Thai woman would move into the Farang's condo or house. Just overnight, she has way more of a rich lifestyle. Okay, but the main mistake she does is constantly talking about poor, constantly festering on how she's poor, how she grew up poor. What will happen is universe, God, your subconscious mind. Remember, your subconscious mind cannot dictate between what's real and what's reality. And if you keep on talking about it, you keep on festering on it, it's a consistent talk that you're constantly having. Okay, the universe is going to make it happen. Okay, it's going to bring you right back to that poor lifestyle. And even in Thailand, I see it time and time again, is a Thai woman go out with a rich Farang, and then after a year or so, the rich Farang breaks up and she goes right back to poverty. Why does that happen? She goes right back to poverty because she's constantly talking about poverty. Does that make sense? She's constantly festering on it. She's constantly putting a real emotion to it. So she talks about it so much that the universe, God, your subconscious mind brings it right back to you. It will coordinate things that happen where you'll break up, you get a divorce, and you'll go right back to poverty. So the same thing's happening to you. Now, you might not be in poverty. Okay, you might be middle class. It doesn't matter. You can use the same metaphor. What are we doing? Okay, we're all doing something, no matter if you're in poverty, you're middle class, or you're wealthy. We're all doing something that keeps us exactly where we are. And most of the time, it's like this metaphor of the example I gave you. Most of the time, it's because you're constantly festering on the same thoughts. Okay, maybe you're in debt. Maybe you're in massive credit card debt and you're middle class. You're basically credit card poor. If you weren't credit card poor, you would actually make pretty good money. You would have a lot of money left over for the month. But then all you focus on is debt. All you talk about is debt. All you fester on is debt. When you talk to your friends or family, you talk about debt and you do it consistently. Maybe not every day, but 2-3 times a week, or 2-3 times a week, 4 times a week, where you're thinking to yourself, reminding you of debt. What happens then is your subconscious mind keeps you in debt. It keeps you exactly where you are. Okay, even if you get out of it, just like with the Thai locals here, just if you get out of that poverty lifestyle, but then you keep on talking about poverty, what happens? Your subconscious mind, the universe, will bring you right back to poverty. It will make circumstances happen in your life that take you right back. Rather than let the dead bury the dead. Stop giving it energy. Okay? Maybe you were brought up poor. Okay, maybe you were brought up where you didn't have money, or your parents didn't have money at that time. Besides reliving those things in your mind, let the dead bury the dead. Let the past be the past. Don't give it energy. Okay, it's the same thing Neville Goddard has taught us. Okay, and it's not just Neville Goddard. You know what I mean? There's many prosperity teachers before Neville Goddard that actually taught Neville Goddard. But it's just like Neville Goddard. You know, when you live in the end, what does live in the end mean? Live in the end means that you let the dead bury the dead. Your past is a past. You bring energy to it. And you live within. You live as your intention. So what that means is, if you want to be wealthy, you want to be a millionaire, you live right now. Right now, today, you're a millionaire. Right now, today, you start acting and carrying yourself as a millionaire. Right now, today, you stop giving negative energy to paying your bills, for example. Okay, if you had $1 million in a bank, you wouldn't be having a temper tantrum over paying your bills. You wouldn't be having a meltdown over paying your bills. Okay, if you got a flat tire today when you walked out driving to work, you wouldn't panic. You wouldn't have a mental breakdown. You wouldn't have a little fit because you have to buy a new tire. You wouldn't give it no energy because you have $1 million in the bank. You would just fix the tire and move on. Once you fix the tire and move on, it's out of sight, out of mind. You don't talk about it throughout the day. You don't go to work and talk about it to all your coworkers. Then you come home and you talk about it to your significant other. Then you go to your family reunion and you talk about it over there. Okay, this is what keeps you stuck. Okay, it's the same thing. Listen to this. It's the same thing with the example I gave you in the beginning with Thai girls and Thai women. They're stuck in this poverty mindset, and that's what keeps them in poverty. Even if they get out of poverty for a short time, they always come back to poverty. Because that's what they're festering on. That's what they're constantly talking about. That's what they're constantly envisioning. Make sense? But other than that, my friends, I wanted to keep this video kind of short. Use this metaphor in different ways. You might not be struggling with the example I gave, but you can find in your life and you become aware of certain things, certain habits, certain thoughts that you have that keep you stuck. Keep you stuck exactly where you are. Even if you get out of it for a short time, you'll come right back to it. And a lot of us have this experience, and especially if we're older, where we've got out of it, we've got out of our situation, but then a couple of years later, we'll go right back into our situation. We never got out of it. Why did we go backwards? Why did we come back to our original situation? Most of the time, it's because we're still thinking and festering on it. We still have that deep belief that's bringing us right back to where we are, okay? But hopefully this helped, my friends. Comment below, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know where you are, if you're struggling with this, how everything's working out for you. And right now I'm sweating. I just got done working out, but it's actually hot in here. But anyway, comment below. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.